I'm on my way down to the river. I'm on my way down to the store.
All right, Monica, what are we looking at here? What is this page?
Well, people filled out the survey and then I've just put it into a spreadsheet so that we can record it and then collate answers to different questions so we can get a picture of what people want.
And this particular page that we're looking at is my survey?
Yes. And I do want to make the point that as I went through the survey sheets, and some of them were handwritten, people had added in comments or added in other things that they thought maybe we should look at. So if you think about the sugar honey nuts one, question 7, and the one below, nuts and seeds, people added in all sorts of other things that they would like us to look at.
Sure.
So the purpose of this is to keep going with that as we get into the nitty gritty, that we might add other items in. And that's why we need people to fill out this, or at least tweak the survey that I typed in on their behalf. A, to make sure I didn't make mistakes, because I certainly make mistakes, but B, to embrace other options that other people have put on the table.
I get that. I found that I was changing my frequency.
Oh, yeah.
That there are some things I do want to buy daily, which might be bread or whatever. Yeah. I only shop fortnightly, but I kind of would like to do monthly for some things and quarterly for others.
Yeah.
So it's good to be able to have the option to tweak my survey. And then when I saw, oh, look, we could get sesame seeds. That'd be cool. So people can go in, and if I change, let's say black beans, if I change that to a 1,
it goes green.
It goes green.
Oh my God, it's magic, Jeffrey.
It's magic.
Oh, you were right. I never believed in magic.
Okay, so is there room for comments?
Yes, so this yellow column down the middle is where I typed in, if somebody had gone, well, you've asked me a question and you've given me these options, but what I feel doesn't fit in the boxes. So I put those comments in, and I love them because they're actually opening up things we haven't considered and things we should consider. So yeah, keep the comments coming if you've got a better idea.
The thing that I found from the surveys was, because there are now 37 members,
yep.
We could go to suppliers and say we could buy 20 kilos of coffee, 45 dozen eggs. It gives us buying power. And I thought that, but now we know.
Yeah, and it tells us where people want us to go buying things and where they don't. Like if they're already self-sufficient on eggs, they're probably not going to want to buy eggs. So having a sense of who's in the group and what they want us to go hunting for is really important. In terms of our longer term goal of maybe even having a shop front down the line, we need our customers as such to tell us what they want us to buy. That's a key part of this process. Okay, Jeffrey, we did get some interesting replies to the survey. So you can see here the question around motivation. Why would you want to do this? We gave people options: cost, health, environment, ethical, quality, and then other ones came in such as convenience, social, or just not wanting to buy from a multinational.
Sure.
So I added those options even though not everybody saw them up front. But you can kind of see a pattern forming here that a lot of the cost ones are either 1 or 2 in people's priority, and environment is 1 or 2 in a lot of people's priority. So I think we need to factor in that that's actually quite different. Getting things as cheap as possible and getting things as environmentally or ethically sourced as possible are 2 different things.
So does that mean that the bulk food from some of the suppliers around Australia, they we can aggregate orders and they send them up, but they're in packets and people don't actually want that.
I don't know what the solutions are yet. I just know this is what people want. They don't want us to ignore cost.
Yeah.
They certainly want to hear about that, and they have an expectation that if we're buying in bulk, that there might be a cost saving.
Question 4.
Question 4 was a really simple one. Are you interested in bulk buying or not? A bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you wouldn't bother filling out the survey unless you were.
Yep.
But I guess just to state it, there is resounding positivity around this idea. Exclamation marks were used, you bet. So yeah, great to see there's some enthusiasm for this. So we did have a few questions around logistics. Did you have time to help do the bulk splits? Did you want delivery? Would you be prepared to pay?
Yep.
Varying replies. So whilst most people were up for the hours involved in doing the bulk split, which is great to see, there are a few people who are, I guess, working 9 to 5, just don't have the time and would be prepared to pay for someone else to do that.
Sure.
In terms of delivery, not many people wanted to pay a delivery fee. They wanted to pick it up instead.
Yep.
One person was happy to pay if that was all that we had. So that gives you a picture. We're coming together. We're going to do the bulk splits and then arrange for everybody to pick up their bulk buy from a centralised place. Question 5 is about bulk buying frequency. How often do you do it? Now, what was surprising is some people are actually buying yearly. They might go to Canberra.
Sure.
They have a membership with Costco and they're doing some significant ordering. Some people are quarterly. Generally speaking, it depends on what goods. So fortnightly would work, but monthly came in strong, as when people think about bulk buy, they think about a monthly order. Just to explain what we did with all of the survey results that came through on oats, olive oil, whatever, we did record whether those are the kinds of things you'd like to buy. And the way we're looking at it on this screen is if you said yes, you would order it, it goes green. But if it didn't come up for you, it's blank. So we can start to see a pattern in terms of plain flour, wholemeal flour, and other goods. Now, at the moment, we're not that interested in exactly how many kilograms you buy per fortnight or quarterly. We just want to know the kinds of things that people are interested in buying. And it's also sort of drawing out dietary requirements around gluten-free and other things that we can respond to. One key question was, where do you currently shop? As you would expect, Began, Aruma, Bermagui are showing up. There's an equal spread, and certain people already use a bulk buying group in some manner, shape or form.
Sure.
And no surprises there. When we go to question 2 on where, we're seeing Gulliga Organics and 777 show up, which is what you would expect. But things like Woolies, Coles, Aldi, and equal spread. Woolies is actually quite strong, I suppose.
Yep.
So this is what people's normal buying patterns are, and this is really why we're targeting what are we trying to replace.
So, Monica, when we were talking about a food group, a bulk buy idea, you said, well, we need to have a survey, which is a good idea. But then it became obvious that we needed some kind of a staged plan that the survey spoke to.
Yeah.
Or, it was something we could work with.
Opening up a shop in Cobargo without first checking in on who wants to come on, who's going to buy from it. So there was discussion around what replaces the general store and the service it provided. Also, there's conversations all the time about bulk buying and local growers and all the rest of it. I thought by doing the survey first, we might identify who's up for what, in terms of a commitment to do a bulk buy. The idea was to do that in 2026, which we've kind of begun at least. Then by 2027, have more people involved, about 20 to 30 people involved doing a split. That doesn't seem impossible. But then get to 50 people, and by 2028, we're doing swap in some form. And that could be ready-to-eat meals, preserved items, stuff from the garden. So there could be a lot going on swap. And then finally, you might contemplate, once you're in the realms of 150 people participating,
Sure.
you could possibly offer that daily purchasing and weekly purchasing via a shop front of some sort.
So we've already got 37 members on board.
Yep.
My thinking is that each month about 20 of those people will buy.
Yep.
So it's going to be about a 2 in 3. So having about 50 members means that we'll have, I don't know, roughly 35 people buying every month.
Yep.
It's not bad.
Yeah, you need a critical mass, I'm assuming, for this. If it's bulk buy, you need enough people in there to
Cover the freight and...
Yeah, if you're going to buy a 25 kilogram bag of flour and there's a price break on that,
Yep.
and it's good quality, organic, whatever, then great, we got 25 kilograms, but now we need, 25 people to buy 1 kilogram.
Yep.
Otherwise, we're sitting on it. So this has to go straight through every month. There's no storage. There's no shop front. We pre-order. That's how a bulk buy typically works.
So the co-op has said we could use a room to begin with, on the hub area.
Oh yeah.
To do the split. And obviously there's an opportunity to have a retail space there in some years ahead.
Yep.
And pay for that space.
And the other thing is places like Gulliga Organics might work with us, that we could order from them.
Yeah.
The discussion hasn't really gotten into any detail, but now that we've done the survey, we might do a second conversation with them about how that might work.
There's been a few people who speak about being able to get toilet paper and toothpaste and, daily or what's the word? Convenience items.
Yep.
What's come up from the survey for me is that some people might be willing to take on different avenues of our supply chain. Does that make sense?
Yep. Absolutely. And I think that's why everybody being able to change their little spreadsheet, as nerdy as that sounds, and you've never done it before, it's actually really important, because as we evolve this and we extend the number of things that we're hunting for, you might want to change your survey responses to opt in. And the mechanism of doing that is this bloody spreadsheet. But at least by crossing the step of learning how to use it, if you could cross that step, then we can have an ongoing conversation rather than just a once-off survey.
Oh, okay. So this becomes a living document.
Yeah, you keep updating it as you change your mind, or as new opportunities, as we have new things that we're buying in bulk, you can opt in.
You gotta move when your soul say move. You gotta move when your soul say move. You gotta fly when your arms say fly. You gotta fly when your arms say fly. And when a spirit catch you, when a spirit catch you, when a spirit catch you, fall down.